Welcome to Monroe's first annual Miller High Life Offshore Powerboat Race. Sitting behind me is a typical boat that will be racing on the Lake Erie coast starting tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. The festivities this afternoon are the compliments of the Monroe Beverage, the Miller High Life distributors in Monroe. Also, without the help of the La Scora Club, which is the Great Lakes Offshore Powerboat Association out of Cleveland, the Lake St. Clair Shore Offshore Powerboat Association from Lake St. Clair, and the Monroe Boat Club, this program would not be possible. The events that are scheduled for this evening, as you can see, many of the boats are on display for viewing by the public. These boats will be on the race course and paraded from the Riverfront Marina Saturday morning at 10:30 out to the race course that will start in front of Sterling State Park. From there, they will go out to the first channel marker to Detroit and then come back toward the Brest Bay and back toward the state park for a round trip of 23.5 miles. They'll make that trip 3 times for a total run of around 65.5 miles for the race. At 3:30, we'll be coming back to the river in front of the River Lounge, and the Cougar Cubs will be racing on the river. We'll have a number of Cougar Cubs. These are the 10-foot fiberglass boats with 20-25 horsepower motors. They will having their own race in front of the River Raisin Lounge and also the River Raisin Marina. This is the first annual event of this nature for Monroe. We hope to have this on an annual basis and get into a bigger and better performance each year. Sunday, to accumulate the powerboat racing, the Monroe Boat Club will be hosting the 3rd annual speed trials for local boat owners. This will be opportunities for any boat owner that would like to test their boat to see how fast it will go in a straightaway. There will be many awards and trophies over the next 2 days and many exciting events and festivities. We'd like to invite you out to the Monroe Boat Club for the Saturday evening award presentation for those that are in the different divisions of the power boats as well as the Cub races. The presentation today has been made possible through Monroe Cablevision, and to them we are grateful for assisting us in providing another enriching opportunity for the Monroe citizens and enhancing the quality of life for our community. Thank you. You for Monroe Cablevision from the Monroe Boat Club. We have with us this evening 3 gentlemen who are responsible for Monroe's first annual offshore boat race, and this evening we're going to talk to them about their involvement and what offshore racing is all about. Our first gentleman we have with us is Mr. Harold Straub, the Commodore of the Monroe Boat Club. And Mr. Straub, could you tell us a little bit about the Monroe Boat Club and the involvement and what their assistance is in this race?
This is our 3rd annual speed trials that we'll have Sunday, and this year the city of Monroe is joining us in the offshore races, which we hope will be an annual event, and we hope the Wind will be on our side tomorrow. We're down a little bit, about 50 miles an hour less than it is today. But we're looking forward to a good program and a good show, and hoping the weather will stick with us tomorrow.
How many members do you have in the boat club?
We have about 287 plus 45 life members.
And do they, any of them participating in the race tomorrow or in the Sunday speed trials?
I think there's two, if I recall correctly. In Sunday's trials, I don't know what the exact number of our boat membership will be in there.
Thank you. It's Harold Straub, the Commodore of the Monroe Boat Club, who has been the host this evening of the social activities. Tomorrow, the race will be taking place off of the on Lake Erie, off of Sterling State Park, for those that would like to see some exciting adventures in boating. And bringing on that exciting adventure are two gentlemen that are presidents of the respective organizations. The Galapra organization, which is the Great Lakes Offshore Powerboat Association from the Cleveland, Ohio area, and also the La Scora, which is the Lake St. Clair Shore Powerboat Association from Lake St. Clair Shore. And on my right is Dwayne Michnow, who is the president this year of Lake St. Clair Shore. And Dwayne, can you tell us a little bit about your organization and also the and who's going to be racing tomorrow in the event?
Well, my gosh, Joe, thank you first of all. Yes, it's the Lake St. Clair Offshore Racing Association, which I just did want to correct in case or in the event that someone wanted to join our association. But in any case, our association, like that of Galapra, is an old club that was formed back approximately actually we were incorporated in 1973. And we have done so for the sole purpose of promoting our sport, which is offshore powerboat racing. We are now approaching 200 members strong this year, which will probably be our largest membership. In fact, by the end of the year, we hope to be at 250, which will make us, I think, probably the largest club in the country. And I think we're the third oldest club, too. We have several of our members, of course, participating here tomorrow, and we hope that we'll have some more boats. We've heard some some hard time stories, of course, from the home front. People burn the midnight oil to put the engines back together, and holes and blocks at the last minute. So hopefully we'll have some more members come down that will be racing, but certainly we would like to thank not only the City of Monroe and Commodore Straub for his hospitality here, but the sponsor of the race, which is the Monroe Beverage Company, thank you, and of course everyone who's not only participating, but those people in the Great Lakes Offshore Powerboat Racing Association, and the participants, the people that put the race on, those that are volunteering as stake boats, patrol boats, and have helped in so many ways. Of course, without them, this type of event could never take place anywhere. So they're all an important part of the puzzle, which we've all put together, hopefully for the sole purpose of putting on a fine show and a good, safe race. So we'd like to welcome everyone down and hope that they all have a good time. And we certainly hope that we'll be back again to do this type of thing again soon.
Explain to us about any other events of this nature that may be taking place in the near future in the Michigan area, in the Great Lakes area?
Well, I'll tell you what, Joe. I'll tell you about one of them, and I'll certainly let Bob Messenger tell you about another. But we were kind of working for a same date here recently, and of course, the history of these two clubs is quite interesting. We both go back to approximately the same point in time where we began. In fact, I believe that Galapra started just shortly before us. Is that not correct, Bob?
Yeah, I think it was like 6 months before.
6 months before us. So the clubs have, throughout history here, been very closely associated, and now so even more. And of course, what's happening now is we're trying to work together to put together races that will draw the more inexperienced racer and give him that experience, give him that exposure to the competitiveness of offshore racing, as well as testing their equipment, and do so at a budgetary cost that he can live with. And Great Lakes Offshore Powerboat Racing Association, Galapra, has done this consistently and very successfully for the past several years, while our club has taken a little different line of approach in that we have gone after the national races, and we still continue to do so. However, what we would like to do is learn a little bit from Galapra, which we're doing now, and hopefully we'll learn from each other, and that's why it's good that the two clubs work together. But in any case, our object here is to present the possibility or the opportunity for what we would like to, I guess, call, you know, I'm trying to think of the actual word, Bob, but a racer can go in with equipment he can buy off the shelf, so to speak, and race it at a competitive price, and it doesn't cost him an arm and a leg. And then if he likes it, he can move into the national structure. But in any case, we are having a race in, now it looks like September. We'll be in the Windsor area, and of course I'll let Bob tell you about his race that he's got coming up, and they're basically along the same lines as these two events, in that they're local and divisional events. And hopefully at his race we'll have our club members, and in fact say hopefully, I'm sure that there's no question in my mind that we'll participate in each other's events, which will make the whole thing a much more successful event in the long run.
Thank you, Dwayne. Dwayne Michneau, the president of the Lake St. Clair Offshore Powerboat Association for 1985. Our next guest with us is Bob Messenger, who is the chairperson of our first annual offshore powerboat race sponsored by the Monroe Beverage Company in Monroe. And Bob, would you like to tell us a little bit about your responsibilities and duties, and a little bit about Galapra, the Powerboat Association from your area? And we also will have an additional thing to talk about, because something special is going to happen in this race, and we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, like Wayne was saying, that we formed about 6 months before Detroit did. We do 7 local races. Now, what I'm saying in local races compared to a national race is, all right, it's more or less on a budget. Everybody's racing what they've got. We more or less have a different philosophy. If it floats, you can race it. If you come up with the right safety equipment, that's the biggest thing, is the safety end of it. You can race it. I mean, we have one of the oldest offshore power boats on the Great Lakes. It was the very first one up in this area. The gentleman is still racing it. It's been sunk, I'd hate to guess how many times, because there are holes in the bottom of it, but he still races it. He's putting new engines in it. He'll be out this year. He's been out 5 years that I can remember, every single race. And it goes to show you, you can take any type of boat that you want, make it into a race boat, and bring it to one of the Galapra races and race it.
Bob, can you also explain to us a little bit about the safety features that are involved in a race, the requirements of the boat as well as the driver, and what's expected of the participants?
Okay, basically, you have a life jacket, which is approved racing type jacket. A helmet, which has to be 80 Schnell standards now, like your Magnums from Bell, and kill switches. Now, a lot of people laugh at kill switches. I think they should be mandatory in a cabin cruiser, because I've been thrown out of a cabin cruiser almost. And the whole idea of a kill switch is anybody goes overboard or falls or anything, automatically the engine's shut off. So it's more or less just in the safety type stuff. Windshield, stuff like that, have to be padded to the inspectors. What would you call it? So he feels that it's totally safe for the individual in the boat. Cleats, if you have a sharp instrument on your dashboard, that if you lunge forward, hit a wave and lunge forward, it is padded, and no one's going to get hurt in the boat. And that's the biggest thing we try to keep with it. It's just the safety end of it, too.
Well, there's a special addition to this, that Bob, not only the chairman of the race, is also an owner of a boat that's going to be participating in it. And we have also in the group is his wife, Donna. And Donna, would you join us a minute, please, here? We want to talk about something that's going to happen, and it's kind of exciting to me. I'm going to be the lucky one that's going to be in a boat with Bob and Donna Messenger, and Donna is going to be the driver. So, and I'm going to be in the back seat. So if we're going to get even with those women backseat drivers.
About that, that because earlier he will be in the navigator's position in our boat, and earlier this afternoon someone was asking him for directions on how to get somewhere in town, and he wasn't doing too well at directing them. So I'm not really too sure that he's going to have the upper hand in this boat tomorrow.
I'm better by sea than by land, Donna. Can you explain a little bit about the boat? The boat is named Flash. Can you talk a little bit about the boat?
Well, the boat is a 27-foot signature, and just as in most offshore boats, they usually require 2 and sometimes 3 people to operate, mostly because when you're out in the open water and the wave conditions being what they are, you need to concentrate on certain areas. So normally one person will drive, another person will do nothing but to operate the throttles, which is probably the most important job in the whole boat, because if he misses a wave, you're going to blow your motors. And then the third person will do the navigation, and he's also important because if he doesn't point you in the right direction, you're not going to finish the race.
That means we may end up in Canada?
I hope not. I hope not, but it's very possible.
I'm looking forward to it, and again want to thank the people with us today who have made this special event for Monroe possible. The race will start off of the Sterling State Park at 10:30 in the morning. You'll see the parade coming from the Riverfront Lounge and the Riverfront Marina out to the start-finish area, and at 11 o'clock the race will start. So if you want to have an exciting and enjoyable Saturday afternoon on the water, we'll see you at Sterling State Park tomorrow. And this is Joe Vitelli for Monroe Cablevision, reporting to you from the Monroe Boat Club in Bowles Harbor, Monroe, Michigan.
Antoinette, my name is Dwayne Mickner, by the way. Yeah, Jeff, okay? Yeah. What's Dave's last name?
St. Clair Offshore Racing Association. We'd like to thank everyone. We hope you've had a good time. We've got a list of credits and a few things and people that should be mentioned. And we're going to do that first. And then we'll go through and we'll go through with the award presentation. First of all, to your left, I'm going to go right down the line. I'd like to introduce Donna Messenger. I think you know Donna, most of you by now. Donna was very instrumental as a member of the Great Lakes Offshore Powerboat Racing Association. And Jim Lang, I've been looking for you. Why don't you come on over here too, please? I'm going to introduce some of the people that made this happen. Jim has been your referee for today and is taking care of many other chores throughout the course of putting all this together. Next to Donna, to Donna's left, we have, I'm going to start right from your left. We have Jim Lang from Glopera. We have Bob Messenger, Donna Messenger, also from Glopera. We have Joe Vitale from Glopera. Glopera. You know what? That's because you're running the boat today. He got his thrill today. First time ever for Joe. Joe, of course, is the Director of Parks and Recreation in the City of Monroe and did one hell of a job in putting all this together. I think you all deserve a round of applause. And we're going to move on. And next to Joe, we have Mike Zangara and Michelle Zangara, excuse me. And we also have Antoinette Zangara. The Zangaras are the owners of Monroe Beverage Company. Without them, this whole day and this whole activity, in fact, this weekend would not be possible. So I think we should stop right here and give them a large round of applause.
I'll drink to that.
Okay.
Bring me one too.
I hope it's Miller's. Next to the Zangaras, we have Mayor Kirk D. McMullen, the mayor of the City of Monroe, and I think we should thank him as well. And last of all, and certainly not least, not least of all, is Commodore Harold Stroh, the Commodore here of Monroe Boat Club, who has made his facilities and all this also possible. And they've worked very hard, as you can well tell, to make everyone feel welcome. So how about a little hand for Commodore Stroh? Some other people, I don't see them, I know they're out here. Ron Weiner, where are you?
Behind you.
Unsung heroes, I think most of you know him. Ron Weiner. Where's the front marine? I don't know if he's here, but we would certainly like to thank him for making his facilities available throughout the weekend. Is each and every one of the scorers, the timers, the patrol boats, the stake boats, all of their crews, and certainly someone else that this race could not have taken place without would be the participants of the race. And we think they put on a good show today too, and we think, let's give them all a good hand here. Well, what I'm going to do before we present the awards is I think that some of these people would like to say a couple of things. I'm going to turn this little can right over to Joe Vitale first off, and then we'll go ahead. It's going to take a couple of minutes, but I think a few people up here have a few things to say. So, Joe?
I'm only going to say a very few things. One, I had a hell of a ride today, thanks to Bob and Donna. My first experience in a racing boat, and I'll tell you, if you haven't done it, you've really missed something. So get off here and do it. I just want to mention that the success today started almost a year ago to date. This was the idea of Mayor Kirk McMullen, and actually which was precipitated by Dan Straub making a suggestion to the mayor, which filtered down
to me, and you know how the chain of command goes. And from there, we picked it up. We talked to Galapra, we talked to Lascora, and over the last year, many, many people have really put forth a tremendous amount of efforts which made today possible. And to you people, I want to give, again, I've said this before, a very sincere and personal thank you. And I hope you really enjoyed your stay in Monroe, because you really helped us show that Monroe does care. And again, a very personal and sincere thank you for your cooperation and effort. A lot of people made this possible. So from that, I want to say thank you again. I can't say that enough. And give these people again a hand.
Hey!
Poor Dwayne's had this funny looking thing in his hand and nobody's introduced him. Dwayne Nicknell from the Lake St. Clair. Lake St. Clair, I knew I had the answer in there. Lake St. Clair Offshore Racing Association. He's been correcting me for 3 days. For a whole year I thought it was an Offshore Powerboat Association. But Dwayne Nicknell has really played an instrumental role in this also. I'd like to turn this machine over so we can get this thing over and we can start having some fun. We've worked long enough. To Mayor Kurt D. McMullen, who would like to say a few words on behalf of the city of Monroe. Mayor?
All right, Mayor.
Great honor and privilege to be here today and to welcome all the people from throughout the state that are participating in this event. I want to thank all the people that have worked so hard to make this event possible. It's a great opportunity for the city of Monroe and also the township of Monroe, which Harold is the supervisor as well as being Commodore of the Boat Club. It's a great opportunity for us to show the people from around Michigan, from around the states, to see what Monroe has to offer. And we hope that each year from this point forward, we will participate and we will have a good, solid event that everyone will enjoy. We hope you enjoy this weekend, and welcome to the city of Monroe. Thank you.
Couple things. Welcome to Monroe Boat Club, and a thank you to the association and wonderful show that you people put on. And to Millers, congratulations. And I hope this is an annual deal. A real good show you people put on out there today. Thank you.
I'd just like to say that we really enjoyed putting this on, and I hope everybody had a good time. And we hope to do it next year, and I hope everybody will come again.
Yeah!
Winners of the first annual Monroe Miller River Raise and Run. And we'd like you to take a look at them, show the trophies, if you will. Show those trophies. Let's see that hardware. We've got all the winners here today. We're going to call them off by class in the order of finish. We've got Class A winner, V300 is the boat number, Pacifier is the boat. They have an average speed, gentlemen, if you'll step up forward, please. The winning average speed for the Pacifier was 53.68 miles per hour. Okay, we had another boat that did not finish in that class. We'll move along to Class 4. In third place, we have P10, the Flash. And I know Donna Messenger is the driver, and co-driver, throttleman Bob Messenger from Glapra had an average, come on up forward please, had an average winning speed of 54.61 miles per hour. Thank you, Bob and Donna. In second place of Class 4, we had S35 Pacified with a winning speed of 55.90 miles per hour. And in first place, Class 4, we had boat number 36 Excalibur with a winning speed of 63.13 miles per hour. Thank you, gentlemen. In Class 3, in third place, we have Mr. Jay Smith. The boat is Putt Putt, and the number is M18. Jay had a winning speed of 49.35 miles per hour. which we think on one engine is pretty good because most people ran this race today on 2 engines, Jay, but you had to be different. Jay did a wonderful job and was able to finish the race with having, in spite of having problems. In second place of Class 3 was M8, I'm Bad. And we'd like to point out that these gentlemen finished this with an average speed of 72.81 miles per hour for a fantastic winning speed this afternoon. Thank you. Now in first place for Class 3, M3 Lipship, who finished with also a fantastic speed of 73 miles per hour right on the button, which we think is pretty darn good. Gentlemen, thank you very much. And we might also point out that the Lipship finished first overall in the race today. Okay, moving along to Class 2, we have a boat that did not start, unfortunately, and so therefore we had M4 Force X, who finished with a very, very nice average speed of 65.21 miles per hour. The boat is Force X M4. Did a very nice job out there. Thank you, gentlemen. APBA Divisional Sportsman's B class. In third place, M2 Mariah. Okay, I think we were unable to have them. I think they're putting their boat away, but that Mariah finished with an average speed of 49.01 miles per hour, and the Bob Zeiger is the owner-driver of that boat. In second place, Sportsman's B class, we had M18. The boat is putt-putt once again, and the winning speed once again, 49.35 miles per hour. Finished in second place in Sportsman B class, and Jay, I think you're pretty easily recognizable up in that position. Jay, incidentally, was entered in 2 classes, both the Sportsman B and as well in the class, let me find my sheet here. Help me out, Jay, if you will. Class 3, I find it now, okay. So he was entered in 2 classes and a winner in both. Okay, in first place of Sportsman B class, we have the boat number B4. The boat is called Stress, and their winning speed for the average of 66.10 miles per hour, and I don't think you guys were under too much stress today. You did a nice job out there. Okay, Pro Stock class, second place, we had Mercury Racing. The boat number is S4. Are they here? There you are, Bob. Okay, thank you very much, Bob. Incidentally, Bob Erickson's winning average speed was 69.86 miles per hour. In first place of the Pro Stock division, a boat called I'm Bad. M8 is the boat number, and they also did a fantastic job of 72.81 miles per hour for the winning speed. Gentlemen, show them that trophy, would you? That's a beautiful trophy. And I believe that will cover it. The only thing we might say is Whitley Racing team was also in this race. Excuse me, had to scratch prior to the beginning of the race due to mechanical failure. That's it for the first annual Monroe Miller River Raise and Run. Raise those trophies up again.